Brazil is the fifth largest country in the world, with a population of nearly 200 million. It has a rapidly developing economy. By the time of the 2016 Rio Olympics, it will be the world's fifth largest, and a GDP per head greater than India and China. Brazil is a world leader in the engineering, aerospace, mining, oil and gas and agricultural sectors. It also has the best science base in the world outside the G8. Overall, Brazil has immense potential as a trade and investment partner. And as host of the two biggest sporting events on the planet in 2014 and 2016, there are some huge opportunities here for UK companies.
Rio de Janeiro is experiencing exciting times in a growing Brazil. Next year in 2012, Rio will be hosting the Rio+20 Summit, and in 2013 it will have the Confederations Cup and the World Youth Day. In 2014 is the Football World Cup, hosted in 12 cities across Brazil, and with Rio hosting 7 of those matches, including the final. And then of course in 2016 it is the Rio Olympics. Rio will receive around $21 billion in investments up to 2016. And the Olympics and the World Cup are major catalysts for this investment. More broadly, across Brazil, in the 12 host cities that will be hosting the World Cup matches, there will be $50 billion of investment in areas as diverse as infrastructure, sanitation, housing, urban mobility, sustainability, accessibility and security. The Rio Olympics will take place in 4 clusters around the city, in Barra, in Deodoro, in Copacabana and in the Maracanã. Some of the venues are already built, such as the Athletic Stadium, which was built for the 2007 Pan American Games. Other venues will be refurbished and are being refurbished, such as the Maracanã Stadium, the iconic football venue for the World Cup, but also the venue for the opening and closing ceremonies of the Olympic Games. But many others need to be built, including the Olympic Park in Barra. And legacy here is very important. The Brazilians are very interested in temporary venues rather than permanent ones. And therefore companies with expertise in this area will be particularly welcomed. And there are other areas where there are challenges for the Brazilians, but major opportunities for UK companies in sustainability, in accessibility, in security and in legacy. A PPP consortium will deliver the Olympic Park in Barra, and there are 4 or 5 major construction giants in Brazil who will be very much involved in that and other construction around the Olympic Games. One of the best ways in for UK companies is to act as suppliers for these major construction companies, or in partnership with them, or other architectural and engineering firms. Another important development in Rio is the regeneration of its port area in the centre of Rio. This is the Porto Maravilha, or the Olympic Port, and some of the Olympic facilities will be based there. It is a PPP consortium that is running that $2.5 billion project, and there are a lot of opportunities there for UK companies. Another area where Brazil needs to do a lot of work over the next couple of years is in its airports, particularly in each of the 12 host cities that will be running the World Cup. 3 of those airports, Sao Paulo, Campinas and Brasilia, will be going under PPP concession in the near future, and there will be a lot of opportunities in those, but also in the broader airport sector, in areas such as baggage handling, people movement, IT, accessibility and security. So far, at least 20 UK companies have won Olympics and World Cup business in Brazil. And AECOM UK is a great example of that, having recently won the 2016 Olympic Park Master Planning competition. There is a real interest in the British experience and respect for our preparation for 2012. So how can we help UK businesses make the most of that 2012 experience? Well, we've got UKTI's sports and infrastructure team in Rio and offices across Brazil in Brasilia, Sao Paulo, Recife and Porto Alegre. We've seen a 500% increase in interest from British companies over the past 3 years, and a corresponding increase in the interest from the Brazilians in that UK expertise. During 2012, there will be a lot of Brazilians in London for the Games. Business leaders from around the world will be invited to the British business embassies at Lancaster House, and Brazilians will be a key part of that. I very much recommend that you join the British Business Club to get information about what will be happening in London over that period and the various networking events and opportunities. It's a great opportunity for British business to make partnerships with Brazilian companies, and we very much look forward to welcome you to Rio.
Spanning 9 time zones, Russia is the largest country on Earth and has a population of 142 million. It's the world's 8th largest retail market and the 4th largest market in Europe. Despite slowing growth and reduced public and private investment, opportunities remain due to the Russian oil and gas boom. The state-run gas monopoly Gazprom is the world's biggest producer and exporter and supplies a growing share of Europe's needs. Russia is a long-term market of great potential for UK exporters and investors. And with 8 major sporting events over the next 6 years, there are many sport-related opportunities here.
Over the forthcoming few years, Russia will host a range of world tournaments, starting from the University Students' Games in Kazan and the Rugby Sevens World Cup in Moscow in 2013, the Winter Olympics in Sochi and Formula One Grand Prix race in Sochi in 2014, the International Aquatics Championships in 2015, and in 2018 Russia will host the FIFA World Cup. But of course the main attention is attached to the Winter Olympic Games in Sochi and the FIFA World Cup. The official project delivery plan records some 200 projects to be constructed. The overall project cost is approximately 35 billion American dollars, with 27 billion provided by the state federal budget. The projected cost for construction of 12 custom-built sporting venues is approximately 7 billion American dollars. The operational budget for the actual games is around 2 billion American dollars. The FIFA World Cup tournament was awarded to Russia in December 2010 by FIFA. The matches will be played in 16 stadia in 13 cities. 13 stadiums are going to be built for the tournament, while other 3 in Moscow will be renovated. The overall project cost is approximately 50 billion American dollars. Almost 4 billion will be spent on construction of stadia. As part of its bid, Russia promised to substantially improve its transport system. This would require upgrade of its main airports, including doubling capacity of all 3 Moscow airports, substantial improvements to the urban transportation systems of Moscow and St. Petersburg, the construction of 100 kilometers of roads and rail, high-speed links between the host cities, and more direct flights to the key Russian airports. Russia is also committed to investing over 10 billion American dollars into improving its tourism infrastructure, with a requirement to create additional 19,000 hotel rooms. And now I would like to say a few words about business opportunities. The contracts arising from the Games cover really a broad range of sectors, starting from architecture, engineering, construction, project management, environmental planning, transport, security, sport venue overlay, through to the event production and management. A significant number of British companies have already won contracts to work on the Games. They are involved in design of master plan and overlay plan for competition and non-competition venues, design of individual sports venues, construction project management, supply of construction equipment and materials, provision of legal, financial and strategic communication advice. The UK-TI Russia Global Sports Projects team is looking forward to assisting you in the Russian market.